Good morning, coming to you once again live from Reach Souls Films. In this video this morning, I wanted to talk to everyone about thorn in the flesh, and this is going to be coming from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the lesson. I will be reading from the New International Version, and as I've said many times before, please read and study these scriptures for yourself. Starting at verse 7, it says this: to keep me from becoming conceited because of these surpassingly great revelations, there was given me a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. Now, in this verse here we do not know what Paul's thorn in the flesh was, because it wasn't mentioned. Anyway, this thorn was a hindrance to his ministry, and Paul prayed for it to be removed, but God, he refused to move it. This thorn was difficult for Paul, but at the same time, this thorn kept Paul humble. It reminded him of his constant need for God, and it benefited anyone around him because they saw God working in Paul's life. And the main point for this verse here, this happened so he wouldn't get big-headed, and so God could prove how grace works. Moving on down to verses 8 and 9, it says this: 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. Now, in these 2 verses here, have you ever prayed about something and God refused to move it? This is what Paul did. 3 times he did this. God did not remove Paul's physical affliction, and we see this to be cruel, but it's not. It's so that God can show how powerful he is. God's power is shown in weak people to give us courage. When we are weak, he is strong. We must rely on God for our effectiveness. It develops our character and deepens our worship. When we admit our weakness, then we affirm God's strength. And the main point for these 2 verses is, God may not move something, not to be cruel, but to build our character and to deepen our relationship with him. And moving on down to verse 10, it says this: this is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, and persecutions, and difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Now, in this verse here, when we are weak, when we allow God to fill us with his power, then we are stronger. God does not intend for us to seek to be weak, passive, or ineffective. Life is hard. Life provides enough hindrances and setbacks without us doing anything. When obstacles come, and they will come, we must depend on God. We must depend on God to make it in this world. Only His power can make effectiveness for Him, and will help us to do God's work. And the main point for this verse is obstacles happen in life. We must depend on God to make it. When we allow God to fill us with His power, then we are strong. But this is what I wanted to talk with everyone this morning. For a few minutes, I just prayed it, and I just hope and pray that this video has helped everyone. And I love you all, and may Jesus bless you.